when planning won't help. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I was having a talk today with my friend Patrick, and he was discussing some things going on in his life, and discussing, and he had mentioned that, a lot of the strategies and planning and the type of thing we talk about here on this show doesn't really apply. And it's funny, I hadn't talked about it for a while, but I can get really bogged down into the details when it comes to the conversations we have here and how to go about getting what you want and planning things and everything else. Really, in reality, I'm a very unorganized person. And and I have slowly started to get good at the things that I've always been worse at, if that makes any sense. In fact, a whole lot of my business direction has been in the areas that I was horrible at to begin with. And those tended to be the areas that I wanted to learn more about. And because I was drawn to those areas, including the areas of marketing, areas of just the ideas of business structure and business strategy and planning and all that stuff, these are all areas that are not natural to me. And in fact, earlier today I was watching a talk by some gentlemen that are really pros at search engine optimization. And I remember I actually started out in my own business in the area of search engine optimization. That was really the beginning of this tour that took me into marketing. You can watch one of my videos or podcasts out there about the 5 excruciating steps to becoming a business strategist. And that was before I was referring to myself even as an investor. And so this was this long journey, and I could have easily stuck with, not easily, I could have stuck with search engine optimization, but I was drawn in a different direction, in a more broader direction, and that the specificity of that, while I understand it, I never stuck with it and really got into the details deeper than where I currently was at that time. So I moved on and got more and more involved in the areas that were not natural to me. And because of that, I ended up in this area of investing that I never thought I'd ever end up in. But it's been this very unique flow, and I'm at a point now where I finally, to be perfectly honest, finally I understand more about what I'm doing and where I'm going than ever before. Now, there will always be surprises, and no doubt next year I'm going to be in a totally different place than I can ever imagine myself right now. But it took a whole lot of experimenting and trying things in different directions and thinking, well, maybe I'll go this way and maybe I'll go that way, and trying things out and experimenting really fast, but not really long in any particular area. And so when you don't focus long in any particular area, you don't necessarily have successes that everyone else sees. In my mind, even the failures are success, and that's tough because everyone else sees it as failures. And I don't see myself as being a failure up until now, but I see a little success here and a little success there, and then I see this point in my life where all these different things are intermingling and coming together and pointing in a very particular direction. It wasn't that clear the whole way through. And what you have to understand is that's okay. The problem is when you think that you really know where you're going, but you haven't really asked yourself the question of where you're going, if that makes sense. If you know that you're looking, that you're testing and trying things out, that's a great place to be in, as long as you know you're there. If you think you're trying to get somewhere else, but you haven't fully defined it, then you're always going to feel disappointed. You're always going to feel let down. You're always going to feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or not succeeding, or anything of that sort. This is a mind trip thing that we all fall into at one point or another. There are periods of time when you have to be left alone to experiment, when you have to be left alone to throw things around and try this and try that and let things go where they will, and really since where you're meant to be in life, if that makes sense. It's taken a while for me to get to the point where I am right now, let alone I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring or the next year, but I'm really excited about where I am right now. And every once in a while I'll find somebody. The people who I can help out the most are the people who really have a clear idea about where they're going, but they don't know quite how to get there. They don't know quite how to organize their thoughts and organize these ideas in order to develop the next step and the next step and the next step. That's really where my strategy experience, marketing experience, where I've been able to help people be able to move forward. And so I spend a lot of time talking directly to those people and bringing up the questions that make the most amount of difference to them. But I understand I have a broader audience than my most ideal partner and business partner, because that's what I'm looking for, is business partners. If you feel like you are that ideal business partner, reach out to me. Go over to brianjpombo.com. If not, hopefully some of this other stuff, you got to let it go in one ear and out the other, right? And some of the stuff you say, oh, that's kind of interesting, or maybe I want to check out that book he's talking about, or maybe I want to watch that movie he's talking about, or what have you. And that's what it's there for. It's there, it's a smorgasbord, right? And hopefully it's helpful to you in any way possible. And that's what my book is all about. 9 ways to Amazon-proof your business, and give you a very broad range of different directions you can go and different pieces that you can go and attach to your business, or you can build it along with your business as you're building your business up from nothing, if that's where you're at right now. So hopefully that's helpful to you. It's just an idea that of the night that I'd like to thank my friend Patrick for bringing it up, because it's not something that I say clearly enough, often enough, and I don't know if I've said it clearly enough tonight, but there it is for you. You have a great night wherever you're at. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.